my name's Nina and welcome to today's Pilates class, which is ideal for people who are beginners in Pilates. Let's begin today's class by placing our hands on the lower part of our rib cage, and let's breathe in through our nose and feel our rib cage expand into our hands, and breathe out through our mouth. Let's breathe in through our nose and breathe out through your mouth and feel your rib cage contract. So let's breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. Breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth, and breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. Let's begin today's class by going onto all fours. So your knees are directly under your hips, so they're in alignment. Your elbows, your shoulders and your wrists are all in alignment. So there's a nice line running from your shoulders down to your elbows and down to your wrists. Your legs are hip distance apart and you're looking down towards the middle of your hands to protect your neck from any neck strain. From here, let's take our right arm up to our ear and then back down to the mat. So let's take our left arm up and then down. Right arm up and then down. Left arm up and then down. Right arm up and then down. Left arm up and then down, and one more on each side. Right arm up and then down, and last one, left arm up and then down. From here, let's now push our right leg out and then bring it back in. So push our left leg out and then bring it back in. So right leg out and then return. Left leg out and then return. Right leg out, and as you push your right leg out, feel a nice lengthening down your leg as you straighten it and point your toes before returning it. So take your left leg out, point your toes, straighten your leg and then return. So right leg out and lengthen and return, and left leg out and lengthen and then return. Now let's combine the arms and the legs. So let's take your right leg out and take your left arm up to your ear and then return both to centre. Left leg, right arm and then return. Right leg, left arm and then return. Left leg, right arm and then return. Right leg, left arm and return. Left leg, right arm and return. Right leg, left arm and return. Left leg, right arm and return. Right leg, left arm and return. From here, let's do some rainbow legs, which are a bit like my leg warmers today. So take your right leg out, point your toes and then lift your leg, and then take your leg over to the left, and then let's lift into a rainbow and take over to the right. So lift over to the left and then lift and over to the right. So lift over to the left and then lift and over to the right. So lift over to the left and then a nice big rainbow over to the right. So lift and over to the left and then lift and over to the right. Let's do two more. So lift over to the left and then lift over to the right, and last one, lift over to the left and then lift and over to the right. Now let's bring our right leg into centre and take our left leg out and do some rainbow legs with the left leg. So lift your left leg up, point your toes, take your left leg over to the right, and then lift into a nice rainbow and over to the left. So lift over to the right, and then lift over to the left. So lift over to the right, and then lift over to the left. So lift over to the right, and then lift over to the left. So lift over to the right, and then lift over to the left. Lift over to the right, lift over to the left, lift over to the right, lift over to the left, and one more, lift over to the right, and then lift over to the left. And then let's bring our left leg back to centre. Open your legs nice and wide. Let's go into a child's pose. Push your bum towards your heels. Place your arms out in front of you. Take your head down towards the mat, and let's release any tension in our neck, in our back, and in our shoulders and our arms. And let's just relax our body in this position to release any tension. And then from here, let's roll up and let's go onto our tummies. And let's do some single leg kicks. So your legs are hip distance apart on the mat. Place your forearms on the mat. Your shoulders and elbows are in alignment, so your shoulders are directly aligned with your elbows. Your forearms are on the mat. Look down between your hands. Your legs are hip distance apart. Engage your core by gently pulling in your belly button to protect your lower back. Point through your feet and your toes and lengthen down your legs. And then look down, like I say, in between your hands so that you protect your neck from neck strain. And then from here, lift your right leg to your bum and then kick, kick and down. Left leg, kick, kick and down. Right leg, kick, kick and down. Left leg, kick, kick and down. Right leg, kick, kick and down. Left leg, kick, kick and down. Right leg, kick, kick and down. Left leg, kick, kick and down. Right leg, kick, kick and down. Left leg, kick, kick and down. Right leg, kick, kick and down. Left leg, kick, kick and down. Right leg, kick, kick and down. Left leg, kick, kick and down. One more on each side. So right leg and then left leg. From here, let's roll over onto our side. So stretch your arm out nice and long. Place your head on your arm to rest your head. Your knees are bent. Your legs are on top of each other. Your feet are together. Your shoulders are down from your ear and back. So there's no tension in your upper back. Place your hand in front of you to give you some stability. And let's do some clams. So let's open the top leg and then close. So let's open and close. Let's open and close and open and close. Let's do 4, 3, 2 and 1. Let's progress that move by lifting our leg after we've opened the clam. So let's open the clam and then lift your top leg. Feel lengthening down your leg as you point your toes and then return and close. So open, lift, return and close. Open and lift, return and close. Open and lift, return and close. Let's do 4 more. And 3. 2, and 1. Let's now lift our top leg to hip height and let's do some side kicks. So lengthen through your body as if somebody's gently pulling on your feet. Push your hip away from you so that all your body is engaged and in alignment. When you push your hip away from you, you may have a small pocket of air between your body and the mat. You may not. Everybody's body is different, so it doesn't matter if you haven't. So then flex your foot. Place your hand down in front of you to give you some stability. Take your leg as far as you can go without rocking through your body and changing the alignment. So if you can take it to 90 degrees, that's great. That's as far as I can get. Then point your toes and take your leg back. So let's flex forward and then point back. So we flex forward and we point back. So flex forward and point back. 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 Let's do 2 more. And the last one. From here, let's push up and let's change sides. So lift up, twist around, and then place your arm outstretched on the mat. Rest your head down on your arm for stability. Your legs are bent together, your legs are together and your feet are on top of each other. Your shoulders are down and back, so there's no tension in your upper body. Place your arm down in front of you to give you some stability, and let's do some clams. So you open the top leg and then close. So let's open and close. Let's open and close and open and close. Let's do 4 more and 3, 2 and 1. From here, let's progress that move by lifting the leg in the air after the clam. So let's open and then lift. Lengthen down your leg as you point your toes and then return and close. So let's open and lift, return and close. Let's open and lift, return and close. Let's open and lift, return and close. Let's do 4 more and 3, 2 and 1. Let's now do some side kicks. So lift your top leg to hip height. Push your hip away from you so that you lengthen and engage all the way down your body. As you push your hip away from you, you may have a small pocket of air between your body and the mat. You may not, it doesn't matter. Let's flex our foot, so lengthen down the foot as if somebody's gently pulling on your feet. Flex your foot, place your hand in front of you to give you some stability, and then let's take the foot forward when it's flexed to 90 degrees or as far as you can go, and then point the foot and take the foot back. So let's flex forward and then point and back. So let's flex forward and then point back. So let's flex forward and point back. Flex forward, 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 point back. Let's do 2 more And the last one. Let's return our leg down to the mat, and then let's roll over onto our backs. From here, let's do some pelvic tilts. So place your hands on your abdominals or your hip bones. Knees are bent, feet are placed flat on the mat. Shoulders are down and back, so there's no tension in your upper body. So we're currently in the relaxed position where our pelvis is in the neutral position. And then from here, lift your bum slightly off the mat so that you tilt your pelvis up and you imprint your lower back into the mat. And then slowly release, so you release your pelvis back to the neutral position, and then tilt your bum down so that you have a little pocket of air between your back and the mat, so that your pelvis has gone down. So then release back to neutral, and then lift your bum up, so tilt your pelvis up so that you imprint your lower back into the mat, and then slowly release back to neutral before tilting your pelvis down so that you have a small pocket of air between your back and the mat. You might not, it doesn't matter. And then release back to neutral before lifting your pelvis up and imprinting your back into the mat, and then releasing back to neutral before tilting your pelvis down so that you may have a pocket of air between your back and the mat before you release back to neutral. Let's do a few more. Envisage a marble on your tummy that you're trying to keep on your tummy and not run off into your body, so that it's nice and controlled movements as you tilt your pelvis down and then back to neutral and then up. So small pelvic tilts, and we're just rocking the pelvis backwards and forwards to warm up the pelvis and the lower back. Last one, so tilt the pelvis forward. You may have a pocket of air between your back and the mat, and then let's release back to neutral. So let's progress that move now into a shoulder bridge. So your legs are hip distance apart, your feet are on the mat, your shoulders are down and back, so there's no tension in your upper body. Shuffle your heels in towards your bum so that you can tickle the backs of your heels. Your legs are hip distance apart. Place your arms and your hands down beside you on the mat. Engage them by gently pressing them into the mat. And then from here, push through your heels, squeeze your glutes, and as you do so, tilt your pelvis up so that you imprint your lower back into the mat, and then keep squeezing and pushing through your heels as you lift your back slowly off the mat, and you lift your bottom back first, then your mid back, then your top back, and your weight goes into your shoulders and not your neck. And then we're now in a nice shoulder bridge where our knees, our hips and our shoulders are all in a nice alignment. So there's a line running through our body. Then from here, let's place our arms in the air. So palms facing each other, slight bend in the elbow, and then let's drop our hips down to the mat, but don't touch the mat before we slowly push them back up. So let's take our hips down and then up. So down and then up, down and then up, and down and then up. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's now scissor our arms. So take your arm above your head and then change. So let's scissor and scissor. Keep squeezing your glutes to keep your hips up. So let's scissor and scissor. And let's do 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Keep our arms in the air. Let's take our right knee out to the side and then return. Take our left knee out to the side and then return. So take our right knee out and then return. Take our left knee out and then return. So right knee out and then return. Left knee out and then return. One more on each side. Right knee and then left knee. Let's scissor the arms again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We turn our arms in the air, palms facing each other. Let's take both hips out and then back. So take both hips out and then back. So let's go out and then back. So the knees go out and then back. So out and then back. So let's do 4 and 3 and 2 and last 1. Let's return our arms down to the mat and let's pulse the hips, so small movements down and up. So let's pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. From here, let's lower the back down to the mat. So lower your top back first, then your mid back, then your lower back, and then release your pelvis back to the neutral position. From here, let's take our knees together and let's take our right knee out to the side and then return. Take our left knee out and then return. Take our right knee out and then return. Left knee out and then return. Right knee out and return. And last one, left knee out and return. Keeping the legs together and squeezing the thighs together. Place our arms down beside us. Let's roll our knees over to the right, so both knees over to the right. And then use your abdominals to bring your knees back to centre before slowly rolling them all the way over to the left. So your knees now are over to the left, and then let's use our abdominals to slowly take our knees back to centre before rolling them all the way over to the right. Keep your upper body down on the mat as much as possible. We're using our hips here. Try not to twist your body off the mat. So then let's use our abdominals to bring our knees all the way back to centre before we roll our knees all the way over to the left. And then let's use our abdominals to bring our knees back to centre before we roll them all the way over to the right for one last time. And then use our abdominals to bring our knees back to centre before taking them over to the left side for one last time. And then use our abdominals to bring our knees back to centre. From here, let's bring our right leg up to tabletop, where the knee is aligned with the hip and the leg is bent at 90 degrees. And let's do some toe taps. So take the right foot down to the mat and then back up. So tap and return. Tap and return. Tap and return. Tap and return. And last one, tap and return. Take your right foot down to the mat. Let's lift our left leg to tabletop, where the knee is directly above the hip. and the leg is bent at 90 degrees, and let's tap the foot and return. So let's tap and return. Let's tap and return, and tap and return, and let's do 2 more, and the last one. Return our left foot down to the mat. This time let's lift our right leg up to tabletop. Engage our core by gently pulling in our belly button. So imagine there's an invisible belt going round your waist that you're gently pulling, so that you pull your belly button in towards your spine. And then let's use our abdominals to bring our left leg up to tabletop as well. So knees and legs are together, both legs are in tabletop. So we're using our abdominals and also our thighs. If you are lifting your back off the mat, so you're arching off the mat, you can bring your legs closer towards your chest, or you can just place your hands at the bottom of your bum, which will also assist you. So from here, arms down beside you if you can. Let's take our right toe down and then tap. Left foot down and then tap. Right foot down and tap. Left foot down and tap. So right foot down and tap. Left foot down and tap. And let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Bring your knees in towards your chest, give them a quick squeeze, and then let's place our feet down on the mat, and let's do a leg stretch, a single leg stretch. So take your left leg, out in front of you, point your toes, bring your left leg in towards your chest, give it a good squeeze, roll your head, neck and shoulders off the mat, look down towards your left toes so that you prevent any neck strain, chin to chest, so imagine a walnut between your chin and your chest to reduce any neck strain. So don't look up, because that'll give you a really bad neck. So look down towards your toes, and then when we are ready, lift your left leg off the mat, point your toes, and then let's change legs. So we've got the right leg, and then we've got the left leg. So we've got the right, and then the left, and then the right, and then the left, and then the right, and then the left. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring both knees in towards you. Give them a quick squeeze. Take your head over to the left side to release any tension, and then take your head slowly over to the right. Take your head over to the left, and then take your head over to the right. From here, let's do a spine stretch and a spine twist. So bring your right knee in towards you, lengthen out your left leg, take your left hand on your right leg, take your right hand and arm out to the side so that your arm is outstretched, and then from here use your left hand to bring your right knee over to the side, look down your right arm and feel a nice stretch all the way down your spine. And let's hold that position for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then let's return the right leg to centre, straighten out the right leg, bring your left leg towards your chest, your right arm holds your left leg, take your left arm out to the side, look down your left arm, and with your right arm, take your left leg over, and you'll feel a nice stretch all the way down your spine. And let's hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. turn your left leg to the mat and let's roll over and return to the seated position that we started today's class in. So thank you very much for joining me for today's 30-minute Pilates class for beginners. I hope you've enjoyed the workout and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.